I had already made a video just a few minutes ago that is not for here. So I'm still trying to find another video site. I had thoughts about, posting the non-YouTube content on Facebook. You know, I thought about creating a closed group page or a private group page for those, like, I'm talking about, like, friends that I trust, who to see the content that I don't put out here. If they really want to hear what I have to go through as far as my life situations go, and friendship situations, stuff like that I don't intend to post here on this channel. So I have thoughts about that. If should I struggle finding another video site. I know some guys that I listen to use the site called Patreon. I'm not sure if you have to pay for that, but I heard you can put in donations for that site. But for me, I don't know. I have thoughts. Maybe this is where I can go back to Facebook for the sake of posting this content. Now, as far as the uploading, like, directly on there, I'm gonna need Wi-Fi to actually, so the uploads can be faster. But then sometimes with Facebook video uploads, they take longer than YouTube. And YouTube, like, even if I put up a 20-minute video on here, the loading is fast. It's very fast through Wi-Fi. Okay. Versus on Facebook. Now, I have not used Facebook since late January. So yeah, I mean, if I decide to go back and create a closed or private group page to post my non-YouTube video content on what I really wanted to express, then I might as well do that. Instagram does not have have that option. Instagram doesn't have the group page options or all that. It's just one column of posting and one posting column, and you got to post public or friends. If you set your profile to private, you know what I'm saying. But you don't have the option of creating your own group pages like you do on Facebook. That's why I like using Facebook more than Instagram, because there's more that you can do on Facebook than you can on IG. Because on IG, like, when I was active these recent years, I'm only been posting stories. Sometimes just stories straight out of Facebook on the stories that I make there. So that's not really much to do, really. Plus, it's just not the same when I post things, because the hashtags are not even a thing anymore. You know what I'm saying? Hell, the hashtags on here, like, it just never worked for me for some reason. But anyways, we'll see. I've given some thought to come back just for the sake of, posting this kind of content, because I still have a whole lot of content, especially from the past months, that I haven't posted yet. So, I'm gonna have to ask guys like Neil, and the boss, guys like them to really trust me on this, or even Russ too. The guys that I trust, real friends that I trust, to hear me out on what I really have to say, that that will not be posted here, as far as what I really wanted to express. But yeah, anyways, I don't mean to ramble off here. I just wanted to make that point for a minute. So, like I said, I had made a video just several minutes ago regarding what has been my ongoing personal situation, that I'm going to keep this as general as possible. But yeah, as it turns out, that personal situation is just finally dealt with. It's been done and over with. So it's just for the best. You know what I'm saying? It's just for the best. You know, I gotta look at it like, it's yeah, it was a stressful thing to deal with. It was stressful. It was frustrating. It's been like this, especially for a long, long time. That I just, at some point, I hoped that it was going to be done and over with, and finally, it was done and over with. And the way I see it is, you know, it's almost like, you have one side of the party and you got another side of the party that, you know, first you're like in disagreement. There's like disagreements, between both sides, right? You know what I'm saying? One agrees, the other one always disagrees, right? But in the end, no matter how stressful or frustrating that personal situation is, in the end, once it's done, it's for the best. And the way I look at it is, you know, both sides, both sides of the party, you know, the side of me and the side of that person in that personal situation, are both finally in agreement that it is for the best, right? It's just better that way. And I think it's just for the best when you're finally in agreement after so many years, months, weeks, days of just dealing with, one side is like both sides are just disagreeing upon one another until it gets to this point. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, it hurts, right? But at the same time, you got to think, well, we finally both agreed that it was just best for us to just, think that this is done for the best. You know, this personal situation is no longer need to be dealt with because, it's done and over with, right? So both parties, I'm talking about both sides, you know, both parties, the person dealing with the personal situation and the person involved in that personal situation. We are finally both in agreement that it's all over, So finally we just finally find ourselves in agreement, and that's just that, you know. So I've been talking about this for weeks now, days, where this situation has just been especially affecting my schedule, my shoot around schedule. And I talked about it last night about what my schedule is this week. And yeah, I mean, it sounds like only one of those games this week is tomorrow night, but I don't even know if that's gonna happen anymore because it's just this situation that's been done over with may just affect that. And as far as the other ones for they're during my lunch break, so I may be good for all of those, the rest of the way, Tuesday through Friday. No, excuse me, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, I did mention about the change of, going to Brenner Park instead of Eastgate. That is still going to happen. So that's not going to change. I'm not going to change it back to Eastgate Park. So I will be going to Brenner Park. And that's going to be after work on Tuesday, straight after. That's going to be a directly after work game. So straight from work all the way to that park. So yeah, that's going to be a short one though. After that, just straight back home. All right. And then obviously the Willow Park game. Then the Cerritos Regional Park game. I may have to change the kind of activity because originally it was going to be 3 points, but now because it is close to Eric's birthday, I might do the Eric's birthday game from last year, where it is going to be on the road. There may be some changes on that, but we'll have to see. So yeah, so even though this personal situation is already done and over with, I can't say, you know, that, yeah, I mean, what's done is done, and I get it. It's supposed to be a time where things are supposedly going to get easier for me and where my life stands, but unfortunately, it's not the case. I still got plenty of issues to deal with in front of me, and especially as it means getting out of my dump. Now, as you know, I do have my job interview, my phone interview tomorrow on my lunch break. That will still go on for sure. It's just, other than that, I still got these other issues I got to deal with. And boy, I want to see a lot of life-changing moves along the way. I'm dead serious when I say this. So there has already been some life-changing moments earlier in the year, just midway through, and those life-changing moments have been, for the good. You know what I'm saying? For the good of those that are pretty close to me. As far as my outside life is concerned. But as far as like these other issues, man, I may raise, I can already start to feel, some of these life-changing moves. One of them to be, just more. It's gonna get even more serious to the point where, you know, my that I might finally have to quit my dump, and that I may end up being in another state soon. You know, but I gotta keep doing what I'm doing, and just when I thought things are going to ease on me for a moment, nope, there's going to be more and more to deal with. So but yeah, going forward, it's I know it's Halloween season pretty soon. The days are gradually getting shorter. It hasn't been 7:30 yet, hasn't it? Yeah, it's only close to 7:30. And yep, we're about to see, Halloween just creeping up closer and closer. So yeah, man, I'm still looking forward to the season. October is approaching, but we all know the season starts, you know, just next week, or this week, rather, later next week. I'm ready for it. Peace out.